Tonight's tactical enhancement is Lucky Beer. Tonight we're playing Black Seas. It's been a while. We thought we'd get back into it with a 1,000 point game. And we have the British divided between Andrew with a veteran third rate and a couple of brigs, and Emilio also on the British side with a up-gunned first rate, as if they didn't have enough guns already. And we're pitching that against the Spanish. And I was going to do something sensible, but then I saw a first rate, so I've taken one first rate and two third rates. And we're just about to work out where the wind's coming from. It's a straight up biffo, nothing special. We just thought we'd get the boats out and have a bash. After all, when the British and Spanish see each other on the open oceans, it's like, oh, we'll have to shoot at that. So, let's roll the dice and see where the wind is coming from.
Alright, so 1 to 3 it's coming from that direction and going across the table, and 4 to 6 it's coming from this direction and going across the table.
Okay.
Okay, so it's coming from this direction.
From this direction, right.
And
so
it's going west.
So they have the wind with them. And then
The wind's blowing
Yeah, from here across the
that
table.
way.
straight down the table.
So if I go that way, I'm okay, but I'm not good going that way. Does the wind change?
It can.
Okay.
We roll every turn, so...
And we have
Don't we place
fearsome
them now, or
sea creatures amongst our feet as well. Alright. Well, we'll play out turn 1. There's no scenario here except to destroy the enemy fleet because it's there. So we will check in at the end of turn 1. Turn 1 was mostly just trying to get near the enemy, because these first rates only move at 3 inches, the third rate's at 4. Having played a lot against the small ships, I almost moved them too far. And in amongst Andrew's lovely islands, including the one inspired, that's inspired by something real. We also have the island of Plentiful Bounty and the island of Rum. But that's it for the moment. We'll check in at turn 2, where hopefully there'll be some ranging shots as ships start to come into heavy cannon range. As is so often at the early stages of the game, we're just getting some long range rounds out at the moment. These guys moved up first. The wind is coming from that direction. They've got the wind on their side. They moved first, but I was too far away. So I've moved up, and I've gotten some very long range shots from 2 third rates, shot at that guy, and took 1 damage point off of it. And we're just outside of range of the forward bow chasers, having a crack at this first rate over here. So that's it for turn 2. Turn 3 is going to get messy, and I've got a bit of a problem in that I got bracketed by half of the British fleet on each side. This could either work out really well or really badly, and we'll probably start to find out in turn 3. We'll check in after that. End of turn 3, I think this was. Well, Andrew snookered himself a bit because this had to move first, and his brigs were in the way, so he didn't really get to shoot very much with this third rate. The brigs came around and let some shot loose at one of my third rates before they moved off. Now the third rates moved up to this patch of sea here. Had a go at that fella there and had rather a good run of it, I have to say. Belted a few rounds out of that guy, and my first rate, I think, didn't get any shots because he was too far away. So my first rate put some shots onto one of these brigs and knocked a couple of points off. But that brig also got a critical, so which direction is it turning?
We'll see.
Well, when you roll, start of the turn.
When it goes to move, yeah. So it rolls a d3. On a 1 and a 2 it goes... No, on a 1 it goes left. On a 2 it goes straight ahead and can't change direction. And on a 3 it turns right.
Right, and the funny thing is the guy next to him has to move first.
Yes.
So he doesn't know if he's going to get clobbered or not.
Yes.
That could be hilarious. And
My fleet is self-destructive for some reason.
this boat had the unfortunate combination of catching fire, gets the D10 points straight away, but then I got another critical on it, which means that he can't pass any orders this turn.
And he's a veteran, so he would have passed on like a 3+. And I paid a shitload of points to make him a veteran, and he can't even take the test at all.
And you need that test in order to try and put the fire out, so that's horrid. That's really quite nasty. Over here, we got some bow shots at one another. That was about it. Didn't do a lot to each other there. Now, it's going to get nasty in a minute because that big boy there is going to have prime shots at my ships as he sails probably around the island. Meanwhile, these brigs, assuming they don't crash into each other, are going to sail around the back of my ships and start shooting him up the backside.
Yeah, that's going to be really nasty.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing we don't need. Fortunately, well, it won't be point blank. That's about all I can say for that.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll get into turn 4. Check in after that. Right, so this thing continued to burn. Did it shoot at all?
You did.
Right, got some rounds out.
Yeah.
Might have done a little bit of damage. These cheeky sausages.
That'd be great.
The first one came sailing around and shot one of my third rates up the butt. Did a bit of damage. Then the other one, it turned out his rudder was locked left, and he came right in on a collision course, and only one of them passed their skill test to avoid colliding, but avoid they did. And he just happened to park himself with his stuck rudder in exactly the right place to shoot the other third rate up the butt.
Doing maximum damage.
Doing maximum damage. So yeah, and one of them, that one, suffered some critical. So yeah, that reduced his effectiveness of fire. Now I moved my third rates and put rounds down on the first rate at reasonably close range, and we put a fire on that bad boy. Then my first rate came sauntering around and also put some fire down on that bad boy. Obscured shot, but he did a critical, which means that they have to do a morale test, I think. No, they have to do a skill test in order to do anything like turning, which they then fail to do, and thereby remaining pointed at an island, and they're now less than 3 inches away from it. In return, that thing blasted away and it did a fair bit of damage. So I am accruing some damage on my third rates, and I just realised I forgot to shoot out of my left flank at that guy.
Yeah, no, you did.
Oh, I did shoot him. Oh,
yeah,
good.
you did, I think,
Oh, not enough to remember.
a couple of points, I think it was.
Yeah,
no, I think you did 4 points actually. You down as 55.
Yeah,
So.
because I'm doing a lot of shooting at long range with these ships at the moment, apart from the stacks on the first rate there. So in a moment, we're going to find out what happens when he crashes into the island. We'll check in after that. And it looks like we're going to call it because, well, I mean, Emilio's probably feeling a bit ganged up on because just the direction of things. It was too hard for me to chase that lot as they ran around and shot me with the butt. So I had to come around here in order to get back in the battle.
But even if I wasn't ganged up, even if I was still alive, my plan was to actually turn in between two of you and shoot either side and do
Double
some
broadside.
double broadside.
Would have been
And I could have
heroic.
done that.
Would have been a heroic brief fight.
And then it could have done. I could have at least taken out one of his third rates.
Yeah,
and he would be weakened, and maybe there'd be a fairer fight for you.
It would have been a good fight.
Yeah.
What's happened though is we've had that rather unfortunate combination of we all accidentally crashed into something today. Just some of us had skill tests, but because we got exactly the right critical in exactly the right moment, that first rate's gone and crashed into the island and taken 26 points. This is after I shot it 3 times within relatively close range by my entire fleet. So it struck the colours. Meanwhile, the brigs are doing okay. A little bit of damage.
Well, the brigs have done maximum damage every single.
Oh yeah, they've been doing their job, and they've only taken a little bit because Andrew's using the brigs the right way, orbit the battlefield at range and use your big guns. Meanwhile, this big boy, he's managed to put the fire out.
But I couldn't turn into the battle to help.
That's right.
Emilio because of that critical.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll just note we did get one shot out the back end of one of the big ships in the previous turn and hit a brig with it. That was hilarious.
How rough shot is that?
Shoot me in the arse,
That
I'll
brig
shoot
could
you out
just
of
be
my
a
ass.
speck on the horizon and you tell me how you.
Well, they were shooting me in the bums, only fair.
Now look, we're defeated by criticals today.
True, and look, I did take some criticals, but you guys got fires on your 2 biggest ships. That's rough.
I think you took a better fleet though. That is an awesome fleet. 2 third rates and a first rate.
Oh, it's gnarly.
That's a really good fleet.
But you know what really fucked you guys up? You were separated one ship downwind and like half your fleet downwind, half your fleet upwind, and I had to go downwind because your fleets that were upwind are faster than mine.
Yeah, but he couldn't turn for a whole turn. Like he should have been going after your first rate at this point. And
That's
he's a
right,
veteran,
and you also had the problem you had to go on the other side of the island.
yeah, because he couldn't turn.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't turn.
So
He should have been
And you're
into
physically
that game.
too far away. You're too far out of the game to get close to do real damage.
No, but I could have easily turned after
Yeah.
turn 2 and engaged those
Yeah.
third rates.
because
So we
I
could
was
both go on.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a
That
bit
my
worried that I was going to get encircled and just blattered on all sides. But then I thought, well, I'll be able to shoot out of both sides of my guns. But I actually did most of my shooting just out of one side against one target. It's interesting how with this game, circumstances shape what you can and can't do and what ends up happening.
Yep, these criticals, they really focused the game in.
They
ways
did,
that
and
you don't
look, I
anticipate.
mean, I got lucky with circumstances, but you can see how shaping the circumstances, like knowing what's going to happen, is where a lot of the skill is in this. Because it's certainly not in hocking the dice rolls. It's more in thinking a few turns ahead and understanding what the dynamics are going to be, whether people like them or not.
Oh, you got those lucky criticals at exactly when you needed them.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was skill, but
Those lucky ones really, yeah. So
Ah.
maybe confirming the criticals on the 4+ might be something to look at in the future.
And can you do that as a house rule, or
Yeah, no, it is a
Yeah,
house
it's a
rule.
house
A
rule.
lot of players do use it.
and look, I think in bigger games, it's probably less deciding. Like a 2,000 point game, maybe it wouldn't
yeah,
have
you
been a
could
big
afford
deal.
to lose some ships and it's
Yeah.
okay, but not when.
Not when every individual ship's so critical at each
Yeah.
turn.
Well, that's half our fleet.
Yeah.
In that one ship, so
Well, yeah.
or even just limiting
I was-
that first race to like massive games and just.
I was
using small
going to
ships.
give you shit and say, well, who puts half their fleet in one ship? But
Yeah.
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 Yeah, maybe we should leave the first rates for really big games.
Yeah.
'Cause
Although
they were only used in massive battles.
well, that's right. They are fucking entertaining, but there is something to be said for not taking your first rate in anything less than like 2,000 odd points.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, what have we learned?
To take a more balanced fleet, I was pretty happy with a veteran third rate and 2 brigs. I think that's a good little fleet.
I think it's quite sensible at 500 points.
And I think for this game, there's a lot of islands on this table.
Yeah,
So-
in amongst the rocky shoals.
You know, if you want to do a lot of manoeuvring, there is a lot of places to turn and hide and
Yeah, that's why I
hit
thought
island.
that's right.
It
and
makes
that
it a
more
really
tactical.
interesting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that island wasn't there, for example, I'd probably still be here.
Oh,
What-
100%. Yeah.
How many captains have said, if only that island wasn't there, my ship would still be afloat?
That's 2 British first rates now that are on that
Because
island.
Andrew and I spent our first 3 or 4 games basically crashing our ships into each other.
Or trying not to fucking collide with their own freaking ships.
Yeah, that took a
You've
bit
got to
of...
think two turns ahead.
And I crashed my 2 third rates into each other, and fortunately I got lucky. And
Because again, that could have been catastrophic for you.
Oh, it could have, because those did quite a bit of damage.
Mm.
You had a rudder hit that nearly did cause a collision, but you
Yep.
managed to roll out of it.
Yeah, again, just chance.
Yeah, unfortunately, islands don't do a skill roll.
No, there's no evade rolls with specifically islands don't evade.
Yeah, it's fun to play a game where the skill isn't so much in, coordinating your infantry assault or getting your charge angle, but the skill is in figuring out where your ship's going to go under environmental conditions.
Yes,
So it scratches a different itch, and it actually is a skill set.
and it is a beautiful looking game.
Oh, isn't it just? We have got some pretty stuff on the table today.
All in all, still pretty entertaining.
Uh,
I feel bad for Emilio though. I think you got a raw deal there.
Yeah, well, you did. Having 1,000 points all dump on you is a bit rough at the best of times.
Yeah, and those criticals just
Well, that was a lot of fun. It's been
It probably would have salvaged. The game would have been salvaged for me if only I had the chance to sail through here and hit that ship and hit that ship.
Yep.
And max, because I've got the best cannons in the game, that I could have,
That's
unless I
true,
roll some own
'cause
criticals,
you've
it
got
could have
the-
been a game changer for me too.
Yeah, because you got bonus carronades, and
Yeah.
on the turn when you did fire
On
all
both
4
sides.
carronades at me, they all fucking missed.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of more arse than class there in some of the moments of the game. But, you know, we love this game. We should definitely play some more of it. So thanks for watching. Do feel free to hit like, subscribe, all that sort of guff. Help the algorithm do something useful. But for now, time to call it a night.